I think the main rule is always stick to what you know. So I've been in situations where an advisor told me, maybe you should go there, go to Asia, tackle that use case, go into that industry segment. Every time we failed because we didn't sit on that knowledge ourselves. So stick to what you know, and typically that market will already be large enough and you need to focus. So stick to what you know. I think that's the utmost rule for creating a very successful tech company. The second one, decide whether the problem you're solving can stand the test of time. So for us, when we started, we said, C-suite should really take ownership of ESG. At that time, the market didn't agree. So we pivoted and said, okay, let's build a decision-making tool that sustainability professionals today can use, knowing that they are not in the seat of decision-making yet. But ultimately, we can pivot whatever we're building and bring it to C-suite at the moment when they're in charge. And that happened after the 2020 events. So invest in building something that you know is gonna stick around. And then also decide whether what you're building and the problem you're solving is truly a must-have. And if it's not seen as a must-have, can you turn it into one? And this was one of the questions I got very early days, asked me a lot of times, is sustainability ever going to be a must-have? And frankly, it wasn't. People generally didn't care so much or didn't understand it so much, but there weren't any budgets for it, or there were small budgets for it. So we had to decide, do we want to make it into one, or do we want to be part of the movement that turns it into a must-have? And we chose we wanted to be one of the companies that would help get ESG into the mainstream. And that's tough. That's a tough road to choose. Can you bring the skill sets together to make it work? To me, that's the fourth one. So you can be a technical expert in ESG, and you can have a large network of people who support you and say, yes, that's really important. But when you start a tech company, it takes it takes a village, if you will. You need to bring tech people together, product people. We needed to bring people with mainstream risk management skills. We needed to build an operations team. We needed to build a marketing team. So it's not just about being a field expert. You actually need to bring together people from various backgrounds, make them communicate together, understand each other to make it work. And I think that was one of the toughest things to do. But when you succeed in that, it will help you be that very successful tech company. The fifth one is a more personal one, but I think it's important to bring that up. So as founders, you sometimes sit on information that you don't want to share with the rest of the team, because it might be about being worried about if you're able to pay salaries, or if you can turn it around, or if you can make the sales numbers that you said you would. And as founders, you need to decide if you want to make that sacrifice. So sometimes you need to keep things to yourself, push towards the goal, and that's a hard one to do, but it is, I think, very much a reality that starting companies is not simple. It is hard. So it comes with a serious degree of sacrifice as well.